You're lagging a little bit, buddy.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're live right now, buddy.
What did I do? Lose internet?
No. You're right
Come
here.
on.
I think you're good, right?
Oh, I just lost internet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're live here in the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show covering
restart
Buffalo
this.
sports. We'll be here in just a brief moment. You guys hit that like and share button and join us here in the comment section. You're here live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. If you're just now tuning in, you're live here in the Sit Down, presented by Duff's Famous Wings and BuffaloSauceGod.com, hosted by the Sauce God, Ramparts Hockey, 12 Gauge, and T-Bone of the Game Book. So if you guys are just now tuning in, do us a favor. Make sure you're liked, following, and subscribed with your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the live versions of this show or any of your Buffalo Bills updates or any of the all sorts of entertaining content coming from Sauce God and the guys at the Game Book. Don't go anywhere. We've got a jam-packed show ahead for you guys as we discuss the Bills receiver to finally sign his deal, the updates from Bills minicamp in Orchard Park, as well as the updates from the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup and much, much more. Hit that like and share. Join us here in the comments. You're live here in the Sit Down on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Okay, so my guy Rampart will be back in here in just a brief moment. We have some technical difficulties. Tyler, how we doing, brother? You there with me?
Yeah, give me 1 second here, folks.
Okay. All right, no worries. But you guys are
How we
just now
doing
tuning
today?
in.
How we doing?
Hey, Tyler, we're kicking. We're hanging. It's Thursday. Of course, you know, the live version of the Sit Down airing right now on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And the social medias are at Buffalo Sauce God, Anthony Bomasudo for Facebook. And make sure you guys are following and subscribe with your notifications turned on so you don't miss the live version of this show, which is also available the next day on Fridays via audio podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. And I believe wherever you may get your podcast, because I think it goes outside. I am your host, of course, the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God, and my co-host, Ramparts Hockey. Tyler, how you doing? Okay, so we have some technical difficulties. No worries. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a jam-packed show. There is a Bills receiver that finally signed a deal. There's a little bit more on that. Some updates from Bills minicamp that is a mandatory minicamp, and that is something that the rookies participate in, our quarterbacks participated in, and a little bit more of a new look at the offense. Some things that we've heard from Josh Allen are some good things to hear, and much, much more, getting us that much more excited as we are under 90 days till the start of the NFL regular season. And, hey, we also have some NBA Finals action. The Mavericks are down 3-0 against the Celtics. Edmonton is currently down 2-0 against the Florida Panthers. And, of course, joining back here is Ramparts Hockey. Rampart, how you doing?
I'm doing well, buddy. How are you?
It's Thursday, man. You know, we got Father's Day this weekend. We also have a little bit of golf this weekend with the guys from the Game Book, which I'm excited for, Saturday. We have a lot to discuss. The Bills have a receiver that signed a deal. We have some updates from minicamp and everything like that. We got to talk about the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals because, hey, Edmonton's in a little bit of a position now. They got to win. It's kind of a must-win situation, being down 2-0. So Tyler's going to tell us more about that in just a brief moment here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to kick off this introduction video right here in the Sit Down to get us all started right here on Facebook, YouTube, and X.
Let's get this over with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's simple, baby. Buffalo Bills football is egg, all right? And we tell you something.
I'm gonna crack a cold one because since it's a tailgate.
Ooh, ice cold, Mike. Let me tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are live here in the sit down with Sauce God, the sports and entertainment show.
I'm whipping the sauce, I'm tripping, of course, I want it all. All of my dogs be running with guard. Your mama, you're holding your pennies and bra. Cause when I get whipping the sauce, you taking it off. I'm dancing on tracks like stomping the yard. We keeping it quiet, we moving the signs. But now we starting to riot, yeah. Keeping my eye on the prize. I got me a queen, we riding like Bonnie and Clyde. Trips to Dubai, the way I be flexing, I'm destined for changing my decimals. Decibels hitting the wave, I'm rapping incredible. Splitting their head like a cantaloupe edible. Got me so high, I'm touching the sky. Of course, I give it my all. I'm whipping the sauce, kicking the door. But then we been here before. She ain't involved, well she ain't involved. Taking my shot, even if down, we tying the score. Do your dance and now twist, don't stress, don't trip. Whipping sauce real quick, stay dripping. Sipping on cognac, roll tea in my veins, but you find that I'm whipping it, watch it get saucy. I'm twisting and mixing and shaking them haters right off me.
Yes, we thank you for the applause, and we thank you for joining us here in the sit down, a live version of this podcast right here on Facebook and YouTube and X, and also available via audio podcast wherever you may get your audio podcast the following day. Little quick message from former Bills legendary receiver Stevie Johnson before we kick off the show.
It was good, Bills Mafia. It's Stevie Johnson, and you're in the sit down with my man Sauce God. Go Bills.
And you know, that always gets me a little hyped up. It always gets me hyped up to hear my girlfriend also introduce me in the video as, ladies and gentlemen, you're here with the Sauce God. And my guy, Mark Lee, the artist who created the song Sauce that we use here in the official introduction and the official song of the sit down, is actually up for an award in the 716 Music Awards. Go vote for him now for Hustler of the Year, my guy, Mark Lee, who puts in a lot of work. He's a great guy in the community, and he is dedicated, and he's a big fan of the show. So a quick shout out to Mark Lee. Let's get some music kicked off here, and let's talk. So the Buffalo Bills, as you see, our guy John Robert, longtime listener, said Shakir was practicing on the side with a sleeve on his left leg. I have heard there has been a little bit of injury and some cause for concern, but personally, I'm not really too worried about it. You know what I'm saying? I do want to point this out right away. Keon Coleman has signed, meaning all of the Bills draft picks from this previous draft, the 2024 NFL draft, have now signed. And to clear things up, he was never holding out. It was never some type of stunt. Like I said in the previous episode, contracts for rookies are already agreed upon via the collective bargaining agreement. You know what I'm saying? So, Keon Coleman finally signs. Everything is all set and done. He's under a 4-year rookie contract, and that is good news for the Buffalo Bills, and it's good news for him. The kid's going to get paid. You know, he's the 33rd overall pick. The Bills' his first pick in the NFL draft this year, and he was the first pick of the second round. So I'm excited to see that he signed, but I want to talk about some of the things that I've heard from minicamp power. Josh Allen had a press conference, and everything that I gathered from it is that he is locked in now more than he has ever been. And I know he said that before, and people have said that before, sure, but he has tweaked his throwing mechanics, and he's trying to tune up his efficiency. And I believe we're going to see maybe the best version of Josh Allen since 2020. 2020, Stephon Diggs comes over. He has his best year, most efficient year, and he finishes second in MVP voting behind Aaron Rodgers. Then he goes on to have elite years, putting up big numbers, putting up a lot of touchdowns. But me and you got the sense that he started forcing the ball to Stephon Diggs. What do you think? Is Josh Allen going to have a better year this year than he did last year?
You know what I think about Josh right now? I think he's relaxed. I think Josh Allen feels the most safe in his career at this point in time, right? Because every year it's like, you know, he's got some stability now. You don't know what you're going to do when you're young. You can take that even in life, right? Like, when you're young, you know, 22 years old, you love her. You know what I mean? And, you know, you got to grow up at some point. So I think now, like, I think Josh is finally back in the saddle, dude. I mean, yeah, Josh Allen, we know what he is. You know, he's fantastic. I think the only thing that can hurt this Buffalo Bills football team, just like I've said about Don Granato, is that, you know, Ken Dorsey, you let just walk out the door. I know he was a good quarterback coach, man. I mean, Dude, it's tough when you let guys like that walk out the door because that's culture, right? And that's what I love about the Buffalo Sabres right now with Lindy Ruff out there playing golf and stuff with Kelly. You know what I mean? It's a great thing to see here in Buffalo. I'm very excited here for a sports town, and I think we got it going here, folks.
Yeah, I think so. You know, you brought up Lindy Ruff, who was actually also helping sell Sabres season tickets. You know, he's inviting the current season ticket holders. Hey, make sure you come on out this year. We're going to have something exciting. There's a lot of, buzz in Buffalo right now. You know, I think a lot of people are really wondering how the Buffalo Bills are going to perform this year after losing an all-pro caliber receiver like Stephon Diggs. And, of course, the dead cap that is going to exist because of trading him. But I really think, from what I've heard from Joe Brady in everything in minicamp and OTAs, this is Josh Allen's offense. They're catering this offense to work to his strengths and work to the strengths of the guys that they currently have out there. And part of what Joe Brady said made me really believe that maybe Stephon Diggs, and I'm not trying to say this in a disrespectful way, he was a bit of a cancer. And I think that if you diagnose that as a problem, you find a solution, you get as much as you can in return for him. They get a second-round pick, another, I think, a fifth-round pick, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, you got rid of something that wasn't gelling well in your locker room and was presenting more problems on the field as it was presenting solutions. Stephon Diggs, it definitely was there. Him wanting Josh to force the football to him. He wants the ball more. He wants to make plays. I'm the guy. We all know when he got the ball delivered to him, know that he dropped it in some pretty big moments. With Josh not forcing it, Josh should have less interceptions. And I think that's something that people that aren't Bills Mafia or outside of Buffalo are looking for Josh Allen to do. Throw less interceptions, less fumbles, less turnovers. Yeah, sure. But the guy's a baller. He's a gamer. He's going to put it all out there. He's going to go out there. He's going to do whatever the fuck it takes to win a football game. And that's what I'm excited about. But I'm excited about the guys that he has. I like Dawson Knox still being on the football team. He's a veteran. He's been there. He's got existing chemistry with Josh Allen. You got Dalton Kincaid coming into year 2, possibly going to elevate his game to a top 5 tight end in this league. That's what I'm expecting. You got Khalil Shakir, after coming alive in the second half of the season last year and, making use of what little reps he had. Now you got Curtis Samuel coming in to bring a little speed. You got Marquez Valdes-Scantling. You got Keon Coleman. You got Justin Shorter. There are guys out there that are going to have to go to fucking war, and I'm excited about that as a Bills fan, and I think Bills Mafia has every reason to still be optimistic and hopeful of what the future is to hold. So, Tyler, check out this comment. I understand Kaiir Elam did well. Kaiir Elam, skilled guy, right?
You know what I'm going to bring with Kaiir Elam? I think he could be one heck of a safety. Just because of his length, the ability to read the football. Like, it's crazy how much good he does on the football field when he's locked in. It's the same thing, you got guys out there. It's not just one guy out there. Like, Matt Milano's coming back. Like, you're going to have your help. Like, everybody thinks football is one man anymore when they used to say it was the ultimate team game. What happened to that, folks? I mean,
exactly.
It seems to be a little bit selfish, Zeke Elliott's got to go back to the Cowboys. Like, get it done.
Yeah, you pair him up with the GOAT. Right, nonsense. But that's a great point. Kaiir Elam came alive in the later part of the season last year, and then he was alive in the playoffs against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he's a guy that I've had a chance of sitting down and interviewing. He's a real humble guy. He's built to play defensive back pretty well. He's got the speed, and that's something that we want a little bit more of when we got to play teams like Miami with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. We have to have guys that can cover them. So I like to see that Kaiir Elam is developing more. I always thought that he was a great player, just maybe not exactly the type of player to fit into the system when we brought him in, right? Taron Johnson has been helping Kaiir Elam also. That's great because that means you got veteran leadership that still believes in this team. And that's filling in for guys that were the primary leaders on defense of Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. So you're seeing Taron Johnson stepping into that role. He got paid this offseason. Probably the best slot corner in the NFL, in my opinion. I like what you said. Kaiir Elam probably could play safety, but at the same time, he's an elite defensive back, and I still think he's got a really great shot at earning a spot on this team as a defensive back that has Rasul Douglas, no more Tre'Davious White, no more Dane Jackson. It's a little bit tougher out there, so there's a lot of opportunities for a guy like Kaiir Elam. And by the way, I like Chase Claypool. That's another good thing, too, because that guy has elite size and athleticism, and if he can just catch the ball and make use of his touches and not make mistakes, this kid is going to find himself very well liked in Buffalo. What do you think of Chase Claypool, Tyler?
I like it. Small town kid, You know, went to Notre Dame. You know, he's got, you know, it's a good fit for the Buffalo Bills football team because, you know, at the end of the day, like, it means something to be from Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like anywhere else unless you're from Buffalo. So I think, like you say, man, I think these guys are coming out here. They're teaching, they're learning, they're veterans. You know, maybe get the run game going a little bit this year. We've seen the best football game I've watched in a while is when Josh Allen had like 64 yards. Yeah. So seriously, dude, I mean, it was a slug fest. Like, it was just a muddy day. You know, slugs were coming out the field. It's all good, though, because we get it done. You know what I mean? Friday Night Lights, buddy.
See, now, when the Bills' passing offense wasn't working in 2019 and 2020, we saw something come into the play from Brian Dable's offense out of Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary then took pressure off of Josh Allen by running effectively and picking up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards, sometimes very hard-earned yards. And that's what we saw more of out of James Cook last year, more out of Ty Johnson. So I definitely think then you've got that Davis kid out of Kentucky. He's coming here too. He's a downhill kind of guy with some speed, right? And he's a sacky guy. This is a Bills offense that definitely has the players that they want to fit into the scheme that Joe Brady is implementing for this offense. But I think having that run game just makes the game so much easier for Josh because, like we said, one of the best games of offense that we had for the Buffalo Bills this last year was against the Cowboys, and that was Josh Allen really not doing very much.
But I'm going to say something here, though, right? And I'm going to like that you brought up the Cowboys there on that point because the guy like Larry Allen just passed away. Okay, now Larry Allen was a mauler football player, right? I know, it's not that type of football anymore. But just think about how important a Zach Martin, you know, a guy like that, a guy, you know, Staley there for the he was he on the Ravens last year? But seriously though, like you need guys that are going to open up those gaps, and you need to make good play scheme calls. Like I love Dan Campbell up in Detroit right now.
So Ray Davis already visited foster homes. All right. All right. I mean, hey, that's something that we're talking about here. It's great to be from Buffalo. And if you are just now tuning in your live, you're in the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show covering your Buffalo Bills, your Buffalo Sabres, and all things sports and entertainment right here on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Buffalo Sauce God. Make sure you guys are like, following, and subscribe with those notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the live versions of this show, which is also available via audio podcast the next day on Fridays. And also presented by Duff Famous Wings at BuffaloSauceGuy.com. Remember, Duff's Famous Wings, medium is hot. You don't got to ask for them extra crispy. If you go to the original on Sheridan Drive, I don't want to hear about the other locations. Tell Joe Duff that Sauce God sent you. That's what I'm talking about right here. So Tyler and I are discussing everything with the Buffalo Bills. We talked a little bit about that. We saw a little bit of golf today. The U.S. Open is underway. Tiger Woods started off the day pretty hot. In fact, he was hanging around the leaderboards there for a while, but I believe he finished +3. We're hoping that Tiger makes the cut. The last I saw, though, was that Patrick Cantlay was the current leader, so I want to get a little update on that real fast. Patrick Cantlay leads everyone today at 5 under. Bryson DeChambeau still has about 3 holes left to play, and he's at 4 under. Rory McIlroy is at 17 at 4 under. So everybody thought Scottie Scheffler was going to come out and steal the show again today. He had the lowest betting odds since Tiger Woods in the 2007 U.S. Open. That was something I thought was pretty interesting. But Scottie Scheffler, where did he finish? Xander Schauffele finished even. Tommy Fleetwood, even. I mean, this is anybody's game right now, if you ask me. Ricky Fowler at +1. Scottie Scheffler finished, or no, he's still not finished. Actually, he's on 17 right now at 1 over. So Scottie Scheffler, man, looking to get back towards even. I still think the best chance is that he's going to win. Patrick Cantlay's got some major experience. He's all right. But Tyler, who do you think is going to take the U.S. Open this weekend?
I think Saturday afternoon about 1 o'clock. I think that's going to be
Jim Nance.
That's going to be the actual round of golf this weekend. So, anyways, you know, I think Bryson DeChambeau is fantastic. I think he can just power the ball. You know, if he can get his short game in close and tight, he's going to be something to watch out for. So that's why you tune in and sit down here, folks, is for the live updates and everything that's sauce.
Exactly. So we got a little bit of the U.S. Open underway. Last night, the Mavericks lose a tough one to the Celtics at home. They're now down 3-0. We all know the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history was the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016 against the Golden State Warriors. They were down 3-1. No team has ever come back from 3-0. The only time I can ever think of a team down 3-0 and coming back, I hate to say it, is the 2004 Red Sox against my New York Yankees in the ALCS, which would then get them into the World Series. And when
but that's not the final.
Fuck them. But still, it's incredibly tough to come down from 3-0. Tyler, do you think that there is a chance the Mavericks can somehow get it to 7 games?
Man, bro, I mean, do you guys remember the NCAA tournament at all? Like, you had teams that were just spraying from deep. I mean, that's exactly, the Celtics are just so loaded deep 3-point shooting that, like, what can you do? Al Horford's over here making 2 out of 3, and it's not going to happen, dude. I mean, I don't think really that the Dallas Mavericks, they ran out of gas, dude, and they're distracted. Something's up with them, and it's not good.
I think, honestly, what we're seeing is that the Celtics are a much better team. The Mavericks just have 2 elite players. And, I mean, the Mavericks are a great team as well. I'm not taking anything away from them. The path they had to go to almost makes me wonder if they were kind of beaten down so much getting to the NBA Finals, right? Kind of like you just said. But I also think the Celtics have that big game experience. They were in the NBA Finals just a couple seasons ago. Jason Tatum playing as one of the top 5 players in the NBA during the regular season. Jaylen Brown getting that big, gigantic contract extension in the offseason. He's playing at a high level. Kristaps Porzingis in Game 1, out of this fucking world. The Celtics are deep. They play great defense, and they also play great offense. They also move the ball, which reminds me a lot of the 2014 San Antonio Spurs. You know what I mean? Great teamwork, great passing, being able to trust the guy next to you. I'll tell you this much. If the Mavericks could at least win the next game, then I still think that there's a chance. Right now, I don't think that there's a chance they're going to win this series anymore. I don't. But I do believe if they win the next one and get it to 3-1, okay, Kyrie Irving's been there before. He was a part of that 3-1 team on the Cavaliers, right? Luka Doncic has been playing pretty damn good basketball. At that point, you're going to have to win one in Boston. You get it to 3-2, okay? Then you go back to Dallas. If you don't win there, obviously it's over, bada bing. But if you win there, man, I'll tell you what, if they can get it to get it to Game 7, I really believe that the Mavericks maybe still have that chance. I always believe this, Tyler, that when a team is down 3-0, it sets up for that. You're due. Somebody's due. Somebody's due to actually make the history happen. You know what I'm saying? Nobody thought it would happen in 2016. Nobody thought it would happen in 2004 when Mariano Rivera's coming out on the fucking mound for the New York Yankees. But we all know history. Sometimes things have to happen. So that's the course. But that's going to take us into our next subject here of the Stanley Cup Finals. We are seeing elite goalkeeping from Florida. Edmonton is down 2-0. They're going to play the next game here in Edmonton. Tyler, is there a chance Edmonton can find a way to get back into the series?
I think it has a lot to do. They're just getting beat up, dude. Same thing like you say. Like, I mean, Dallas was a tough team. Like, they were like 38-10 in shots, and they win the hockey game. Like, we all know what Edmonton is. Edmonton's a team that has star power, but not enough, And they did something a couple years ago that I really liked. They brought a veteran in the locker room like Duncan Keith. And, dude, when you bring guys like that, it teaches something. Like I understand that you got Darnell Nurse. You might need Paul Coffey to teach him something, I mean, it's just like the basketball series, in my opinion. Florida was there last year. Florida's a good hockey team. And, I love my boys, and I'm happy. It's all good, buddy.
Yeah, I think Edmonton, it's going to take a big game out of Connor McDavid. And I know I've been saying that the whole entire Stanley Cup playoffs, but he is the best player in the world. And he's the guy that led them here. He has the most assists right now in the in the playoffs. He has a chance to maybe break that record. Who knows? But it's going to take
want to see a good show.
Goal shooting from him.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. The guy has been extremely limited by Florida's defense in their goalkeeping. I mean, people compared a picture of a brick wall to Florida's goalie. All right, so Florida's got the experience. They've been there. Edmonton hasn't really had a ton of that experience. They've been in the playoffs. They've been competitive. They've, at one point were in their conference finals with Connor McDavid, I think in year 2 or year 3. But first Stanley Cup appearance. And we all know hockey, you never know what team is going to come out on top. Hockey, anything can happen. That's a sport where I really believe that guys play to the freaking whistle. They play 110%, and you just never know, because we saw a team like the Vegas Golden Knights make the Stanley Cup Finals in their first year as an expansion team. That doesn't happen. But why? Because they had a group of guys that were collective guys on other teams that wanted an opportunity to make themselves more relevant and more of a contribution and more of an impact to whatever team they're going to end up playing for. And that's something that happened as an expansion team with new players like that, right? I think Edmonton is going to win this game tonight. All right. Do they play tonight or do they play tomorrow?
They play tonight.
Yeah, so I obviously know that they're spread out a lot because of the distance between Florida and Edmonton. We talked about that's the longest distance between 2 Stanley Cup teams in NHL history. I believe they're going to win tonight. I think Connor McDavid's going to score. I think he'll get an assist as well, so I'm predicting 2 points from the guy. And I believe he's going to be the star number 1.
I think he needs to change his suit because the suit ain't working no more. You're not Tyler Hero in the fucking 2020 NBA Finals. Like, holy fuck, Luka, pass the fucking ball, dude. Like, goddamn, son. Like, Tim Hardaway Jr. is fucking 0 for 17. Like, let's go here, guy. You're not even...
Yeah, and Kyrie, man, you got to start shooting. I really thought that...
Kyrie should have been the one from the...
Kyrie.
Yep.
I thought he'd be the difference.
Because you know what, dude? You should have let Kyrie cook, like, hold the... Like, Luka is like Larry Bird to me, right? Like, he's slow, he'll get his shot off.
Yeah, but
all I seen last night was just bitching and moaning. So what the fuck, dude?
No, I hear that.
No one has time to hear that shit. Everybody's got their own problems. We don't care about what fucking Tim Hasselbeck. What the fuck?
Fucking Barry Melrose out there commentating NFL. What the fuck are they doing over there at ESPN? You know what I'm saying? I really believe, Tyler, for both teams that are down in the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals, as in the Mavs and the Edmonton Oilers, what it takes is this mentality of one game at a time, one goal, one shot at a time, playing every single possession that you can, making an impact offensively, defensively, stepping in, stepping up, making more of an effort. Don't be afraid to shoot. Don't be afraid to miss, because you can tell at times there are guys out there for the Mavericks that are afraid to take shots. The Celtics are just passing, and when the guy is open, he gonna shoot, and that's what it takes. You gotta have some balls out there, and that's for both teams in these in the championship series. I really believe that Edmonton has got a chance. They're only down 2-0. The Mavericks are going to have a much more uphill battle, but we'll see, man. I think maybe history is due at some point here. But Tyler, I think we're going to get ready to go ahead and get off the show, where it's about 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Make sure you guys are following, liked, and subscribed with notifications turned on for all my social medias at Anthony Bomasoon on Facebook, at Buffalo Sauce God on YouTube, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram as well. And if you make sure you have your notifications turned on, you will never miss the live version of The Sit Down, presented by Duff Wings at BuffaloSauceGod.com, which is also available via audio podcast the following day in case you were not able to catch the show. So make sure you check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you may get your podcasts. Check us out whenever you can. We'll be live here next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Facebook, YouTube, and X, right here in The Sit Down with Sauce God, Ramparts Hockey, guys like 12 Gauge, T-Bone, the Scat Back Taylor, and Kirby is looking to make an appearance next week as well. So, Tyler, man, we got ourselves a Saturday golf. Happy Father's Day weekend to all you guys out there. I want to say a happy heavenly birthday to my grandmother, Nora. Today would have been her 86th birthday. May you be up there looking down on me and me trying to slap me in the back of the head saying, what the hell are you doing, you cheat-throw? We love you guys very much. God bless every single one of you. And go Bills. Have a great weekend. And Tyler, appreciate the hell out of you. Ramparts Hockey. RJ loves you too.
Let's go, buddy.